Hi, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to talk about a money issue, where not to invest. You've heard plenty of advice, and it's everywhere. It's unwarranted. Um, it's confusing. It's overwhelming. But if you look out there, if you Google it, if you go on YouTube, everybody will tell you, you should invest here, you should invest this, and you should do this, and you should do that. But I'll tell you, in my life so far, I've seen more people lose money unnecessarily than make a lot of money doing some of these investment tactics and things like that. I've said in previous videos that I think it's important that you don't get all, overexcited and all hyped up about a certain investment, and you invest in this and you invest in this and you try this business and you try that, and you get greedy and you get arrogant and you get complacent, and you're full of fear, and you make these decisions, these financial decisions based on hype. I've seen more people lose money that way than making money using any of the things that people have said. All this hype about you can be a millionaire in 5 years, or if you just do this, you can get this, and you can live this lifestyle if you try this kind of thing. And I've seen people in my life who have tried many different things. They dabble in this and that, and it never works out. I've never seen somebody get rich doing some of these things that are out there. These hype things. If you invest in this stock, you'll become an instant. If you invest in gold, you'll become instantly wealthy, or within a year you make 40%, or you'll increase your net worth by a big percent if you do this. All of this hype is for those people producing the hype, for them to make money. And it usually doesn't come down to you making money. So I highly advise against any of those things. Today, I want to specifically talk about, when I say, where not to invest, I'm going to speak very broadly here, because I'm not going to say you shouldn't invest in stock, you should invest in mutual funds, you should not invest in, that's not the point of this. Because if I give you this broad principle, I think it'll help you in every area of your investing. So this is a personal opinion of mine, of course, but here's what I live in my own life. I apply to my own life as well as my advice to you. I don't think that anybody should invest in anything that they don't know. Okay, so now when I say they don't know, if you say, I know a little bit about the stock market, I read a book on the stock market, that's not enough. Or someone might say, I have a PhD in finance. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. I've talked to people who have PhD in finance, and I'm sitting there explaining to them the intricacies of personal finance. They don't understand. Just because you have a PhD in finance doesn't mean anything. That has nothing to do with anything, okay? It's about the real world, putting your real money in real things and seeing real returns or real losses. And I can tell you that if you invest your money into things that you don't know, like you don't know anything about the stock market, but, well, they told me that that's where I'm supposed to do it, so I invested in this, or I invested in this stock, you will lose money. That's almost a guarantee. If you know nothing about real estate, and you say, but I saw somebody, buying a house, and so-and-so has 2 houses, and so-and-so became a millionaire in real estate, so I want to try that too. But you don't know anything about it, and you go buy your house, and you try putting tenants in, and that, you're going to lose money. You don't know anything about a certain business. You're in a certain sector of business, let's say, but you see other people making money doing something in this sector, so you try going in there because you have some extra money to invest, and you try doing that, you will lose money. I've seen so many people lose money doing all those things that I just said. And the thing is, a lot of that is based on greed. It's just based on blind ambition. Like, I don't know anything about it, but, I was successful doing this, so I'm sure I can be successful doing that. But they don't do the research. They don't do any of the things that are needed and required in order for them to have a small chance of succeeding in that thing. And they just jump right into it and wonder, why did I lose everything? I lost my collateral, I lost my business, I lost my income, I lost my house, I don't understand. Why did I lose all that? Because you got into something that you should have never gotten into in the first place. So you don't invest your money into anything that you don't know anything about. You got to get good advice. You got to read up on it. Just to give you an example, I give this example all the time. But I was a real estate investor for 10 years. And yeah, I gave into this at one point. This was early, many, many years ago. And I gave into this thinking at the time that, man, I was seeing all these people, reading books about and watching people, talk about getting rich, and real estate is the way, and you can produce, you can create passive income, and these things are all possible. And some people have done it and they become multimillionaires. But I didn't become a multimillionaire doing it. Okay. Now I did make some money doing it. But it wasn't like I thought. It wasn't a get rich quick scheme at all. Before I bought my first house, I mean, I probably read 40 books on just real estate investing and all the ins and outs and and just getting used to the new terminology, just entering a new world. And once I bought the house and I bought my second and third and fourth and fifth, and I started buying houses. I mean, again, that was a lot of reading, a lot of research. I went to seminars. I talked to real estate investors. I talked to all kinds of people. I did all kinds of things so that I can learn on the subject. And some people are like, oh, I read 2 books, or I talked to a neighbor who does it, and I'm ready to buy a house. They don't do nearly the amount of research that they need to get into a thing. And even after all that research, it's still not 100% that you'll be successful in that. And even if you're successful in it, it's not as fast as you might think. Oh, I thought in 3 years I would make $300,000 or $500,000, but it actually didn't turn out like that. And I didn't make that much money, people say. Yeah, it takes longer. It's more difficult than people think. And it's the same thing with stocks, okay? You don't know anything about stocks, don't get into it. You'll make more money. You'll make more money just not going into it. Because you putting your money into that, you're going to lose it. And if you lose it, how many years will it take? If you lost 100,000 in the stock market, okay, I worked with someone who blindly put their money into a hype, sort of this fund, lost $100,000 just like that, just lost $100,000. Now, how long will it take that person to make that $100,000 back? Always remember, it takes a long time and it's difficult to make something, but it only takes a second to destroy it. And I got younger kids and they love Lego sets. And I always tell people, look, sometimes when my kids make Lego sets, it takes like 3 hours, really big Lego sets, like 2,000 pieces or, something like that. So it takes a long time to build it. But how long does it take to break it? It doesn't take that long. If you just drop it, it'll shatter. Okay, the same thing with most things. It takes years to build a reputation. It takes years to build wealth. It takes years to build a business. And how long do you think it would take to destroy your reputation, or to destroy your business, or to destroy the wealth that you built up? Not very long. Okay, so understand that getting rich is a slow process. Losing it, getting poor, is a very quick one. It can be quick. So I tell people to focus more on the defensive side of it. Okay, the making money thing, people work hard, people do, and there are things on the offensive side, which is making money, that I think people need to do better also. But it's not getting into the hype, investments and things like that. Do not get into anything that you don't know anything about. Do not get greedy and get all, hyped up and, man, I heard this, I heard that. Don't give into any of that. Keep your money. Pay off your debts, okay? Pay off your mortgage, pay off your credit cards, pay off your student loans, pay off your car loans. Focus on paying off your debt, and then focus on, at the same time, saving up money, an emergency fund. And I said in other videos, 6 months to a year's worth, if you can, okay, as much as possible. You need an emergency fund, cushion money, not invested somewhere, just in the bank, okay? And then you're paying off your debts aggressively. If you pay off all your debts, and then and you have some emergency cushion money made, and you're still making the same amount of money that you're making right now, you're probably pretty well off. Okay, but on top of that, if you begin to increase your income, that's even better. But don't get into any of these funds. Don't do any of these things that you don't know anything about. And I think in the long term, as people fall left and right because they've invested in all these things that they knew nothing about and losing money, you'll have your money. I think you will not regret it if you take this advice. So, but it's the same advice that I live by, and something that I've learned and realized over the years. So I really hope it's helpful to you. And until my next video, I hope you stay well.